Hi, everyone, and welcome to The Little Things, a conversation series about the small moments, gestures, and details that shape our days and leave an impression. Sometimes that's a quiet ritual, a handwritten note, a moment of connection, or a spark of creativity. This podcast is about those moments and the people who understand just how much they matter. Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Little Things. Today, the script is being flipped and I'm being interviewed by my dear friend, Madeleine Fawcett. Hello, hello.
Hello.
I didn't have to do a lot of prep for this one because, you're taking the reins.
Well, I am so honored and just a touch nervous, but mostly just so excited to hear who you are. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today. I know that you all might have gotten used to Jen being the one asking questions. She's been creating these amazing, thoughtful conversations about identity, reinvention, motherhood, relationship, and all the little things that shape who we are. But today, Jen, we want to hear about you. Just a quick background. I was fortunate to meet Jen through our dear mutual friend, Marielle. And from the moment I met you, I understood why people are so drawn to you. You have such a rare combination of warmth, ease, generosity, and you're genuinely curious about people. So it makes sense that you've started this beautiful The Little Things media empire. I just love how inclusive you are. It's instinctive. It's not a performance. And you've just always made me and everyone around you feel so at ease, so comfortable. And that's just so beautiful. Beyond that, one thing that I've really been grateful for is that as I've gotten to know you, like you're just, in addition to an amazing host and curator of interesting groups, you're such an inspiration to me as a mom. And I love the relationship that you have with your kids. I don't know how you do what you do and did what you did with 3 little kids who are now high school, college age. But I've been on the phone with you where you're about to host 250 plus people and you are just so unbothered, which is something I am always after. It's really amazing, truly.
Thank you. Thank you. Definitely not perfect. And my kids for sure don't love me all the time. I can promise you that.
Well, I can tell that they enjoy hanging out with you a lot.
I hope so. And I hope it stays that way. However,
I mean,
love and like are not mutually.
That's fair. That's fair. Thank you for reminding me of that. What I think makes The Little Things resonate with people is beneath all of the amazing things that you're doing, there's real depth, and you are paying attention. You're paying attention, obviously, to your family, your loved ones, but just people, emotions, beauty, nuance, and the little things like you notice. So I'm so honored to be the one interviewing you so that people get to know who is Jen Koman and how did you become the amazing, incredible woman that you are. So for any
introduction, I might have to listen to this from time to time when I'm feeling like, what am I doing in life?
No, you're so inspiring. You're so amazing. I'm so honored to call you a friend, and I love getting to work with you. And I'm so happy to introduce you, Jen Koman. So for anyone listening who may be newer to the world of The Little Things of Jen Koman, could you please tell us, who are you?
Gosh, well, first and foremost, like you said, I'm married. I have 3 kids. I have twins that are 19 now. We survived like the twin phase. And
Incredible.
My oldest is 23. He just graduated from University of North Carolina and he is out on the junket of a lifetime. I think he's been in Asia and he's going to go to Europe, or he is in Europe now. He's been in Asia and I just am hoping he returns to start his job because he's having a great trip. He well deserved. He earned it. But
You did.
I'm thinking, are you coming back? Because we don't have a return ticket yet, so we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
Okay. Well, just cross your fingers.
Yeah, I started my career a long, long time ago in retail. I was with a small boutique for a long time, and then worked at Neiman Marcus
Amazing.
as the manager of St. John Knits, which I'm
Love that
sure your
brand.
mom and your grandmothers are all familiar.
Yep.
Back in the day, it had a major cult following. Like,
I believe it. And funnily enough, one of the first nights that we met was at the Art Production Fun Gala, and I was wearing a St. John dress, that
yes,
silver sparkly dress.
and it was beautiful on you. I
Still
mean,
hit.
it was the funny thing is it made everyone feel great. It was timeless. You could pack it. We couldn't sell enough knit. I mean, we really couldn't. And I was very, very young. I was really young at that time I was in my 20s. I was very young to be wearing St. John to work every day. In fact, I met my husband when I was working at Neiman's, and he was kind of like, what are you wearing? What is that? He's like, it's something I think I was like 23, and he was like, it's something my mom wears. I'm like, I know, but I'm selling it, so I have to wear it.
You have to wear it.
But it became addicting. And honestly, I learned so much, not only from Neiman Marcus, because back in the day, Neiman's was kind of the institution, the pillar of exemplary customer service. We did everything and anything to make our customers not only feel happy, beautiful, and confident, but really like family. And we built an incredible department that way and had lots of loyalty. I mean, in fact, I remember one time I was flying to California. St. John was also an incredible company to work for. And I was flying to California for a conclave. And there was a young bride who wanted a certain skirt, and it had a white trim on it. And Neiman's didn't buy it that way. And I got permission from our buying office to get the skirt from St. John and bring it back because she had to have this set for her rehearsal dinner or something. And so when I came back, brought the skirt back with me and, got it in the system. And so we sold it to her, but we literally would do anything for, a sale or a customer to make people happy. And it's so interesting to me now to see retail evolve because I think it's changed so much in terms of service. And I hope that it gets back to those little touches because it really made the difference in kind of setting us apart. And, that's a whole nother story. But, I learned a lot back then and continue to apply that kind of to my life now.
So you've always been someone who's sort of thinking 2 steps ahead or going to any length to really make people's dreams come true, make them feel noticed and appreciated and just picking up on people's needs. Has that is that from your childhood or where does that come from?
I'm an only child.
Okay.
I think I spent a lot of time around adults and kind of being like the only kid in the room and listening to adult conversations. And probably through that, I just absorbed a lot of maybe mature thoughts. And I think I was a little bit more mature for my age when I was young. And I think I probably heard things and observed things that kind of made me not jump to conclusions, but really think full circle. And these observations, I was able to just be a little more intuitive. I don't remember a time where I was really felt like a kid. I just was always spent so much time around adults and my grandparents and just listening to those adult conversations and sometimes thinking wow, you can walk into a room. And I have heard a lot of background now because I've been listening to these people talk. And you can walk into a room and there's a lot more going on than meets the eye.
Yes.
A lot people have a lot going on. And they present themselves in certain ways publicly or, around other people. And then behind closed doors, there really is a different mindset. So I do think a lot of that kind of helped shape my mindset and probably led me to be just a little bit more intuitive and kind of in tune with and also literally applying the rules that Stanley Marcus had set for customer service. You just are always thinking that way.
Yeah. It's really incredible. You can see it. I've now been lucky enough to stay in your beautiful homes And it's just your every detail is thought of. So I appreciate that's one of many things I really appreciate about you. And it makes sense where you kind of like where that became ingrained in you. I think a lot of the people discover the little things in, some of us women are in a period of evolution or becoming something new, starting a new career, kind of, different stages of the parenthood journey. Has there ever been a period in your life where you realize the version that you'd been living no longer fit, or where you had to shed certain parts of you or relationships or just things that weren't serving you?
Yes. I kind of don't. I kind of try to reshape that mindset. Like it's more like evolving and not completely shedding who I am, but sort of taking parts of me forward. I think definitely different times in my life. Like I got married really young. My husband's a little bit older than I am. I had to not grow up fast, but like as a young married person, I was doing things that were different than my friends who were marrying someone their age, and I think it's not really like I try to frame it as not really leaving part of myself behind, but like taking the best parts forward and like embracing the new situation. And I had to like break it down like in even small steps. Like when your kids are really little, you're living this certain life, right? It's very physical. It's very, you live on this like minute by minute, hour by hour schedule. And then they kind of grow up and you've got to grow up with them, right? And I had to leave some of the micromanaging parts of myself back there because I needed to let them shine, right? I think with experience for kids comes confidence. So, let them experience some things so they can build confidence and trial and error, just all those things. I just try to embrace like every stage of my life. And it's not like I said, it's not perfect and I'm not always positive, but I try to feel like grateful moving forward and take the experience and the positive things I've learned about myself and learned through others and take that forward. Like, just like sometimes the door closes. Like when you leave high school with your kids, like that door closes. And I was ready for that.
I can
Like
imagine. Yeah.
definitely ready, but like moving forward into a completely different chapter. Now we're empty nesters. Like it's crazy. It's like good things and they come and go. And but and that's like my most recent example. All three of our kids, are gone now from the house most of the time. And like we had to like kind of reinvent ourselves, reinvent our time, reconnect in different ways with ourselves and our kids. And it's kind of a good thing. Like I've really enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed it. But, taking all those experiences with you along the way, like I just had that big milestone. And
Yeah.
um, it's kind of a big one, but it's been great. I love it. And my relationship with my kids is definitely better. Not better, but it's like so much fun to have adult kids. You get to a different phase in your life.
Yeah, it seems like it. Like, I know you're going on a trip with your daughter tomorrow, and I just can't wait for that time. Like, my kids are a little bit younger, and I just can't wait. And again, that's something that I just so admire is that you seem to have like genuine connection with your kids. But it's it's good to hear also that you just take experience forward. Like that, it's because some days are hard, they're long. Like, and I'm wondering, like, was there ever a time where you just felt like, oh, I'm lost or disconnected or I need to overhaul X, Y, and Z? Or was it always just kind of like the knowing that it's experience and
Definitely when my kids were younger and I was a full-time stay-at-home mom. I wasn't working.
so much respect? I don't know how you did that.
You know what? I think I'm certainly grateful for the opportunity. I do think now at 52, I wish I would have kept working or kept doing something, even if it was just super part-time for myself that kind of kept me connected. And I can see that now looking back. But when I was in it, I was like so in it. And
You have to be
you
I
know,
mean, yeah, twins.
my husband was always busy. Like we were just busy. We had a busy life. Like I think I wasn't always the best version of myself when I just got like too preoccupied in like the kid work, like, this and that, and like, da, 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 and I would get overwhelmed by things that really in the end don't matter that much. But
Yeah.
when you're living like that life with little people, you really like kind of like just get stuck in certain moments. And I did sort of learn, and I don't know if it was through reading or through, listening to my friends who had older kids. And I did a lot of that and like taking things from them, like little tidbits that they would share. But I would try to make little changes. I think
Okay.
that I would get super overwhelmed by like, you need to work out 2 hours a day and get 10,000 steps and do this and do that and go here and do this and implement this new parenting strategy. And, also blah, 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 blah. And I would sometimes like, okay, well, I can't do any of that. Like, I would be like,
Okay.
0, doing nothing. I can do nothing now. I'm so overwhelmed. So I would just try to like make one little change,
Okay.
whether it was, instead of doom scrolling, pick up a book, or I love needlepoint, or take a 20-minute walk. It didn't have to be a, 90-minute power
Or
walk,
yeah,
weighted vest and those, what are
follow
the
bangles.
didn't need that, just like get outside because you
Back to
can't
basics a little bit.
just
Yeah.
do a little bit of something or go to lunch with a friend or, do something that made me feel good individually. And it didn't have to be like climbing a giant mountain. It could just be something small that sort of changed my mindset. Because, just can't do everything.
Yeah. I think there's
It's
so much. It's really refreshing to hear you say that because I just think women in particular, and of course some men, there's so much to think about and carry, and it's physical and it's the mental, and I think it's really great advice. Just like the little things that can bring you
sure.
back down to earth, and um, that's really, yeah, that's a good reminder for
And
people
I
who
think
are in it.
I was definitely a better parent when I could like clear my head and like realize that I was building up like my own anxiety about things and I would push that onto my kids. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that person because it's not productive for them, and like if I can keep my head clear in any little way that benefits them, or if I can feel good about myself or where I am in my journey of whatever I have going on personally, like that's better. Better for them, better for everybody. Just try. I didn't definitely achieve it all the time, but I tried.
Yeah, that's great. Um, did you ever feel like you had to disappoint people in order to be true to yourself, to take that time? Like, was there, or were you just like, this is gonna help me show up as a better mom, a partner, a friend?
I 1000% disappointed people, and I think um, the people that you disappoint first are the people that are closest to you, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of was like, wow, okay. First of all, disappointing isn't really the same as hurting someone, if that makes sense.
Yep, that's a really important distinction.
Right. I mean, choosing to take a girls' weekend or, trip with my husband or doing something really wasn't, maybe it was disappointing my kids that I wasn't at that 100th play that we watched in grade school or whatever. I wasn't there that one time. But um, I think it's healthy for kids to be disappointed, especially in the framework of your own house where they know that you love them and it's like this is just part of life. You're going to be disappointed by a lot of different people throughout, your life's journey. So if it happens in your household, know that it's coming from a good place and that we love you and, you'll have another play, trust me. I didn't need to be there for that one anyway. um or I'll send a great stand-in, someone else will go watch. But I think another aspect where I learned quickly is, I can't personally be everything to everyone. And same thing as you. I'm sure having kids in different schools, you get asked to be on a million different committees and volunteer for this. And you know what, Madeline, you're an expert at this. I think we should pull you into this group. Or what it might be a charitable thing that you get involved in. And then all of a sudden, people are asking you all the time. And it's like, I really taught myself pretty quickly after being super involved in my kids' elementary school. I was like, you know what? Just because my name comes up to be on this committee, it doesn't mean I'm the best person for the job.
Okay.
Number one.
Yep.
Number two, there are a lot of other people who have the time and wherewithal to be on this project who could maybe give you more than I can. So I really like quickly taught myself like, okay, like I am only going to do things and volunteer for things that are really meaningful to me and that I really think I can add value. Because I'm not someone who needs to see my name on the invitation to feel comfortable showing up at the event. Like, I don't need that. So ask someone else to be on this committee. I just think like sometimes saying no and preserving some of your sanity and your time is the best gift you can give yourself and kind of everybody else. And then when you kind of like define like your role, it's like everyone just accepts it. It's
Yeah.
funny how it works.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of a buzzy word, but like it reminds me of like boundaries. Like people, that's what everyone's talking about, and that's the healthy thing to do. It's really, but it's a muscle, right? Like I think did this instinct to kind of be like, this is what I can do, this is what I can show up for, this is where I can succeed. This is like, did that knowledge get better with age as your kids got older, as you were continuing to be asked to do all these things? Or has that sort of been something that you've always been able to do?
It came with age, but it also came with experience. I mean, I got myself involved in, I shouldn't say that. My husband volunteered me to chair my kids' elementary school auction, which
Okay.
actually
Been
I
there.
had said
Been there.
no to a million times. I did not want to do it. It's just not my way. I don't want to be in charge of something like that. That's too many personalities to manage and all of that stuff. It was miserable for me. I was miserable. It happened to be the most successful auction that they had in like school history.
Oh, wow.
But only because I was like, you know what? I am freaking miserable here. I am going to make I'm going to show you like this is going to go
Better than anything anyone's ever done
and
before.
then I'm signing out. Don't ever call me again. Like I gotta like, cause once I was committed, then I'm like, shit, I gotta
You're
make
like, I
this
gotta
right.
do it the Jen Koman way.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I
Okay.
did. And then after that experience, I was like, wow, hard no.
Okay.
Take the name off the list. Like it really taught me like that was like incredibly eye-opening because I knew it wasn't something I wanted to do. I respect anyone who does it. And if anyone wanted my help, like I would help, but I don't want to be the leader of all of that madness.
Yeah.
And it actually, the hilarious thing is, do you remember that show, that series, like Big Little Lies?
Oh my gosh, of course.
Or
Yeah.
like drama at the school auction. I can't remember it, but I started watching that show and there was drama at the school auction. I'm like, oh boy, I like
You're like, have I got stories for you?
this is too much for me. That is just not my wheelhouse. So I learned quickly then, like, no. When you know that something doesn't feel right for you, just say no. And you're doing yourself a grand favor. And then really ultimately everyone else. But yeah, age and experience.
Okay.
And now it's like, I feel like I say yes to the things that make me happy and no thank you to the other stuff. And I don't feel bad. Like I'm come to a point where I don't need to over explain. There's some like,
I
no,
love
no,
that.
thank
I
you.
think often like people who are on, inviting us to do things or attend things, like probably appreciate just like a no thank you more so than yes and showing up half-heartedly or I don't know. I need to remind myself of this. So it's good to hear that it's something that gets a little bit easier with experience and yeah.
Yeah. And you have exponentially more kids than I did. So just like time and value.
Just one. And
But
I
that's
didn't have
a lot
twins.
more. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, like you've to the time to me and like the emotional energy that certain things take is like,
It's priceless.
yeah, then like that should help you say, no, thank you. I can't wait to see how successful this is going to be for you. But no, I can't
Totally.
participate this time.
Okay, I'm gonna
Feels
remember
good. Do
this.
it.
Remember
Do
this conversation. Speaking of age and experience, have there been certain parts of you that have gotten stronger or other parts that have softened with time, with, travel, experience, kids growing? I'm curious to hear sort of like what stuck around and what you've kind of just decided to.
Well, I kind of like always joke about my age because I'll be 52 in a few weeks. And like, I think I'm never going to be a technology queen. I would love to be. It's just not going to be I need help with it. And I'm not ashamed to ask. I think I've let go of, and this is sort of like part of that same like evolution of saying no and like knowing what you're good at and knowing what like is going to be mutually beneficial. I think that I'm like okay, just like comfortable with myself. I'm not going to be a people pleaser. And that isn't to the detriment of them or doesn't say anything like about me. It's just kind of like, I'm going to be super kind and whatever, but I just know that I have to have those boundaries because that really helps me like move through life in a way that feels authentic, doable, all of that. And I think that like I've really kind of been you know, I protect my time. I really value my time, especially when I can spend it with like the people I love, my kids or my good friends, or, we do a lot of entertaining and I love to like sit back when we're having a party or having people over and know that like this is time well spent because I'm really I get as much like from watching everybody else have a good time as I do personally, enjoying it personally. So, and also like a super low intolerance for bullshit. Like
Yeah.
I can't help it. And that kind of sounds very old lady, but it
No,
is.
it
It's,
doesn't at all. It's refreshing.
be nice, stranger at the grocery store. Like
Yeah.
someone cut in front of me in the line yesterday. I was picking up sandwiches for my kids and I'm thinking, but I just was like, okay, obviously you're in a hurry. You can do it, but
My goodness.
come on, let's all just get on board here. We're all waiting for the same thing.
It's true. It's true. We're all just trying to get through the day right now, right?
Yes. Yes.
Let's switch gears and talk a little bit about creativity and purpose. So, the little things feels like a deeply personal endeavor. It's been it's obviously very intentional and thoughtful. The conversations that you're having are inspiring, great questions, dialogue. What made you start this?
I had a gift business for a few years and I was really enjoying it. But it kind of came to a time in my life, sort of with my kids leaving home, us spending less time in one place and moving around so much that unfortunately I needed to close that business. And I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And I loved meeting new people. Um, and it was really hard for me to make a decision to close it. But I basically, we live in St. Louis, that's been our home with our kids. And because we didn't have to be tied to their school schedule. We've moved around a lot the past year. And I just didn't feel like I could be present with such a young business
Yeah.
and give it the time it deserved. So with that closing, I really felt like I needed something for myself. And I think one of my favorite things about that business was meeting new people and talking to different people and kind of, learning about their experience and actually just talking to you and another dear friend of ours, like this is kind of my time in life. Like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom. That was my focus. And now what can I do for me? And that continues to, I'm not going to say relevant, but keeps me like energized and what have you. So, um,
It was
you
your
know,
turn.
it's my turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for good or bad. And gosh, doing a podcast is really hard because again, the tech piece comes up quite a bit. And I'm like, ah. But
You seem to have mastered it. You
well, it's like this Riverside platform is pretty easy. So I'm not gonna say it's for dummies because it's an amazing platform. But if I can get in here and do this, we're rolling on all cylinders. But I think that you know, like I said, I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. I think people's stories are so interesting. And I always learn something after recording with someone and hosting events. Like I love to host events. We have events in our home all the time. Like you said, I mean,
unbothered by 250 plus in an hour.
kind of unbothered. I have great team. I have great helpers. I definitely don't cook for all those people. So don't worry. But it's just like, I think the little things and just starting with a podcast has tested so much. I hate to see myself on camera. I
Yeah.
sort of don't like the sound of my voice, especially when I hear it back.
Yeah.
um, but it's kind of tested me. It's something that I'm enjoying. And I think there's ways that it's evolving. And I'm really excited to see that and like see what I can, do to support brands and continue to sort of build a little ecosystem around this. And that's kind of how I got here. I mean, really through a lot of your encouragement. And
No.
I appreciate that. Like, I'm not sure that I thought I could do it. And the first couple recordings, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And it is hard. But it's fun. And it's gives me something to fill my days that's for me.
Yeah. You've been having like incredible conversations with guests of all sort. You're super supportive of all of their respective endeavors, career moves, motherhood journeys. Are there conversations that you're craving to have with people? Like, or do you have like a pie in the sky dream wish list of people that you want to talk to? Like, what are you excited about? Where is the little things going?
So I do have a short list, as we mature and get more experience. There are some people that I would love to interview. But what's interesting, and this isn't necessarily intentional, I've talked to several founders and I love hearing their journey and like how they've built their business and what kind of motivates them and what their background was to get them where they are currently. But the conversations always come back to motherhood, which is funny because it's like I'm not a parenting expert. I just have 3 kids who, like I said, today my daughter's leaving for London School of Economics. And, she may be like annoyed with me because she's out at the pool with her friends right now. And I'm like, how about packing? Like, if we talk about packing,
Yeah.
she wants to like, I'll get it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
She's
Mom will help me. I know she will.
I'm like, "Oh, I would love to help you, but not in the 11th hour. Um, and so it's funny, I'm not an expert, and it always comes back to like mothering and like the same things, the same themes for women. I think that have been consistent for all of us, like our journey, our struggles, our strengths, our parenting wins and fails, where we are with our kids, confidence. Um, but I think that for me, the most exciting thing will be building something that, when we kind of reach out to that like pie in the sky person, they will say yes because we have like a foundation and a history and a track record of really building something meaningful, right?
Yeah.
And I just interviewed another wonderful woman who's started a podcast recently, and she's got a bigger ecosystem than I do. And I really admire all the things she does that I can't do, right? That I'm not good at, I'm not capable of. I mean, really one of the biggest things is like videoing everything you do and taking pictures and like I'm like, no one
Yeah.
cares what I'm doing right now at
I
all. And
do, but
no one cares what I wear. No one cares,
I want to move into your closet. So I think people would love to see what
Okay, I have I have a clothing addiction but
you have. Incredible taste.
oh, thank you. So like, it's just, I do have a list, and I hope that we build a reputation or earn a reputation that allows us to open doors that are unexpected to all of us. I think that would be great.
I think you really are working towards that. I think you're on your way. You've created a community, and like you said, a lot of the conversations have meandered into motherhood, and I think that speaks to you as kind of like an inspiration to us. But I also think that like every episode I've listened to, like I appreciate the questions that you're asking because I'm always learning things. Like there are people from all different, backgrounds and jobs and stages of life. And I love the community. I think that it's so cool. And I think you're really sparking really cool conversations.
Thank you. I feel like we should do the same interview 1 year from now and then like do a little synopsis of where we've been and where we are and what we have ahead in a year.
I'm gonna put there's lots that is coming up this year for Jen and the little things, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Just quickly, I'm wondering, is there something that you hope people feel after listening? Or is there, are there lessons that you feel you've learned over your lifetime and that you want to share with listeners?
Well, I hope everyone feels like they've just listened to or been part of like a conversation with a good friend, which almost feels like a little bit of a breath of fresh air. I'm not going after hard hitting news, but I think we always talk about things that everyone experiences. Or, like one of my favorite things to do is learn from someone else. So I feel like, I have learned something from everyone I've interviewed, and I hope that the people who are listening feel the same way or inspired by, or, just feel like a little bit refreshed. I mean, I think it should feel easy, not daunting. And that's what I hope, you know, like someone just had a good conversation or been a part of a good conversation, which
Yeah.
feels a little bit uplifting.
I think you are definitely accomplishing that.
Progress over perfection, right? I'm always trying, trying new things, trying. We'll see.
I love it. I'm so excited to be a small part of the journey. So there are a lot of big things happening in the year to come. And I don't know how much you want to say about it, but maybe give us a glimpse into what we can expect from the little things, the podcast, Substack, what else?
Yeah, so we're continuing the podcast. We publish twice a month. Same with Substack. We're starting an interview series on Substack, so you'll get a glimpse into the lives of some really interesting people through a question and answer format. I'm going to, of course, get better at taking pictures of things I do.
Chris will be thrilled.
I know. It could be like a where in the world are you now? Because I'm never in the same place
You
for 5
never
days.
know
I'm
where you
always
are, but
doing
you're
something randomly different. And then kind of on a whim, it was a little bit unexpected. I bought an adorable cottage in Palm Beach. Um,
nothing
it's
makes me happier than this.
it's adorable. It was built in 1929. It's been wonderfully kept up and restored. And, it was a complete whim. It was, I don't take for granted that opportunity. But, one of the things that I'm hoping to do there, besides relax and chill and, hang with my daughter, because this is kind of something that we spent a lot of time in Florida during COVID, and we drove by the house, this particular house. It's on the corner all the time. She's like, "Oh my God, I love it. I need to live there." It looks just like something. She was like, I don't know, fifth or sixth grade at the time.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I need to live there. That's so cute." And so she's very excited to hang out there, and I'm sure have a lot of fun times with her friends. But
It's the
I
best.
hope to host people and host some brand events and share some of the wonderful people and businesses that I've met through the little things. Host some events, do some different things, host some, women's retreats with mahjong and fun things, and just make it like a place that's welcoming and feel very comfortable, and obviously for personal use, but also to share with others, because I think it's a really fun space. And so much is happening in Palm Beach right now. It's unbelievable.
It
I
really
mean,
is.
being from there, and, going there for so many years, it's like, wow, it feels
It's
like almost
astonishing.
nothing. It's astonishing. Like, it's amazing. It's crazy. But yeah, so lots of exciting things, lots of, and again, like pushing myself out of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of what this little things journey is about, like pushing myself out of a comfort zone and having a good time while doing it. Some fears and some like, oh
Yeah.
God, what am I doing? But
Yeah, it's hard to put yourself out there for sure.
yeah, it is.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be welcome with open arms from the Palm Beach community. And yeah, that the house, I again was lucky enough to stay there. It's just it's the quintessential C Street house.
It's a little thing. It's just like it's a little thing.
It's just I can't wait. All the retreats that you've been talking about. I'm just so excited for what's in store. Thank you so much for sharing about your background and sort of where the Little Things media is headed. But I'd also want to hear about what are some little things that are anchoring you right now.
Ooh, well, we're deep in the heart of summer, and which is my favorite season.
Same.
I love, like I said, my oldest is not here right now. He'll be back, but it's been fun to have my kids under one roof again. The twins have been together in St. Louis for the past few weeks, and that's been fun. Um, you know, Somehow I get to be a fly on the wall in their antics and their what have you. And we're literally always the house. Like we have kids here all the time. So that feels good and fulfilling. And like everyone's kind of back together and they've had people over to watch the hockey games and the Knicks games and um they're having a good time, which I love.
That's the best. And like it's less nerve-wracking now that they're a little bit older, I bet.
For
It's
sure.
just now the like gathering. I mean, that's absolutely what I
Yes.
hope my home will be too.
Yes. And, they actually will pick up after themselves now and,
Oh,
it's a good thing. And I love, they have an amazing friend group, both sets of Michael and the twins, and I love just spending time with them. Um, and it feels like, with Michael graduating from college, it feels like, a big milestone in all of our lives. Obviously, it's a big accomplishment for him, but now we're all looking forward to like, what's next for him? What's his schedule going to be like? How much time is he going to be able to spend with us? Like, what are we doing there? Um, I've been doing a lot of needle pointing.
okay.
um, Only during daylight hours because I can't see at night anymore. I have to put my glasses on instead of the
I
light. So,
totally get it.
a lot that goes on with that. And really like summertime. Like I love summer. Kind of one
Same.
of my faves. It's not like the pace of my life changes. There's just something about more daylight and like better weather and sunshine that puts me in a good mood.
It's my favorite season for sure. What does a perfect morning look like for you?
Okay, well, I'm not a super early riser. I wake up early. I just don't like to jump out of bed early, which is one of the bonuses of having kids that have or been in high school and can drive themselves. You don't have to
The
get up
best?
and jump up like a lunatic and make sure everyone's awake. So I'm up by like 6:30. I kind of lounge around a little bit, do my thing. I'm religious tea drinker, so I'll go out in the morning and get my tea. Oh, I take my dogs out, get my tea, iced tea.
Yep.
And, then I've really tried to structure my day where I sort of spend like the first hour on my to-do list and getting things going. And then I'll take a little break and get back at it. But um, you know, I would say the best mornings for me are the ones that are not frantic,
Yeah.
no matter
Slow
where
and
I am, what I'm
intentional.
doing, like
Yep.
slower. Okay. I don't miss that like madness in the morning. My kids were actually reflecting on their time, like the mornings of school. And my daughter was notorious. And I don't even
Late.
know, notoriously late, but she was also we would pull up to their school and she would not have shoes. And she was later diagnosed with ADD. But that
I
is like not my thing. Like, and her twin brother was like, so do you remember all those mornings where we'd pull up to school and
oh
Caroline
my
wouldn't?
goodness.
I'm like, yeah, I do remember those mornings. Like, because I would say, get your shoes. Have you brushed your teeth? Don't forget your shoes. Da 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 da. I'll put them on in the car. Da 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 da. Well, they never got in the car, So then we didn't have shoes. Like one time, and I would always like, oh, drive her home, get the shoes, go back. And then one day I was like, get out. Just get out. There's a lost and found. I'm sure there's a pair of shoes that fit you. Like this is like making me nuts. Do
Yeah.
you know how many times I said get your shoes, which shouldn't be something I have to say. Like you just don't walk out of this house with no shoes on.
It's amazing what kids will do. Like shoeless, shirtless. Yeah, I deeply
For
relate.
many years, I think I felt like I had run a marathon by the 8:05 drop off when, they got out of the car. And
Yeah.
now, like, that is so amazing, like, not to have to feel that way. Like, I
You
really
have earned the slow intentional
I
mornings, like
love it.
more than anything. Um, what's something ordinary that is bringing you big time joy these days?
Oh, ordinary. Like, we've really, like, loved watching, like, the Knicks games together. That's, like, not a big deal, but it was so fun.
So
Um,
joyful, so
it was really
exciting.
and if there was gonna be a game 6, would it have been 6? Did they win in 5? Yeah.
Knicks in
Okay, so
5.
in 5, Caroline and I were gonna go to game 6, so
No way.
I'm
Ugh,
so happy they won, but it would have been fun to go to game 6. Um, Really, like, just the simple pleasures of summer, more sunlight, better weather, all of that stuff really makes me in a better mood and like have more energy, and that's pretty much routine, but I definitely notice that. If it's a cloudy day, I feel it. I love
Yep.
the sun.
Yep. Okay. Um, Let me think, what else do the people, let's give the people what they want. Okay, when do you feel most like yourself?
Okay, so this is not a new thing for me, but it is like a thing that I've adopted since I turned 50. When I turned 50, a friend of mine had me down to her house in Florida and she's like, oh, she's older than I am. She's like, this is 50. Okay. Like, what are you changing? What are you doing? Like, what's going on?
Oh,
And
okay.
now, so one of my hard and fast rules of turning 50, I by 10 a.m., I'm always dressed.
Okay.
And I will tell you, it makes
No
a big
full jammy days. No, no, no.
no full jammy days, no workout clothes day. Like, I mean,
Okay.
I'm saying like out of your workout clothes
Yep.
with a little bit of makeup on, like that makes me feel now like I'm a little together.
Okay.
That makes me feel like that's kind of a superficial thing
Your
and it's
day has
not.
started.
My day has started. Like I'm complete now.
Okay.
No workout clothes after 10 a.m. Mantra.
Workout clothes after 10 a.m. Okay. That is going to be harder some days than others, but it's a goal. That makes sense.
Some days now, instead of going from pajamas to workout clothes, I just have to go from pajamas to clothes because I know that 10 a.m. shift is going to be hard.
There's something like mental though when you like get dressed and you have like whatever makeup you put on, like it does really like give a nod, like it's time to go.
Right. Starts the day.
I love that. What is a lesson life has taught you over and over again?
Progress over perfection.
Yeah,
And
you
like,
mentioned that.
don't be afraid to start
Okay. Yeah.
because, and I'm guilty of that. Like, I will hem haw and I will like reevaluate and I'll rethink and like all the things. I definitely do that. But it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect,
Yep.
but you have to do it. You have to like put yourself out there. You have to start the thing. You have to whatever. And, you're going to learn quickly if it's something that's worth your time or worth your energy or is going to be something that is eventually leading to success or fulfillment or whatever that looks like for you. But like progress over perfection.
Yeah. Let's close with something that you know now that you wish you had known sooner and that maybe some of your listeners might get value knowing or hearing now.
I think like it kind of sounds trivial, but like, you know what? Everything will be okay. Like, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. And don't set like an unreasonable expectation for other people. Cause you're going to be the one who's disappointed. Kind of like meet people where they are and accept that piece of life. And worrying does nothing for you. And I grew up in a life with lots of worriers. And I think that I just don't worry that much. I don't worry because you know what? If you're making smart decisions and even if you're not making whatever, you're with kids, they're not making the best, like everything usually turns out okay.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
I feel like I see memes on Instagram where like you've been through a really hard day and you're still standing. And sometimes it's so hard in those moments where everything seems to be going wrong and you just feel like, gosh, this is, it's like whack-a-mole some days, but
Lots of days.
worrying doesn't change that. So it's good advice. It's really good advice. I will take note of that.
I like it.
Anything else you want to tell us about?
Gosh, anything you're curious about? I don't know. I mean, listen to the little things, like support this random off the wall journey, like be a part of it. It's fun. I'm learning again, progress over perfection. I am not perfect. I mess up. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. I feel in over my head a lot of times. But like, listen along and do all the things. What
Well, it already feels like more than a podcast. It truly is like a community, a real community that you're building, and eventually, which will have its own like physical manifestation of that. Um, but I'm so excited to see where you're going to take this, who you're dream guests will be. I'm so excited for that recording 1 year from now where we can reflect on like where you've been and all the progress and growth. Yeah, it's just such an honor. And I hope that people have gotten a sense of who you are because you are just such a special person. You are such an inspiration. And it's really amazing how you're highlighting all of these incredible people doing incredible things. And it's no surprise that you're wanting to support other people's stories and journeys and share lessons along the way.
Well, thank you. It's really a pleasure, and I am enjoying it very much. So I can't wait to see what's next.
I can't wait either. And thank you so much for your time today.
This was a great recording. I didn't have to prepare. I just showed up.
My goodness. Well, I give you so much respect for interviewing these guests because I know what goes into it and you put so much time and thought and it's not easy. So thank you. Thank you for bearing with me as the interviewer, which is not my normal place in this podcast recording, but it's always a pleasure to hang out with you, Jen, and I cannot wait to see where The Little Things goes from here.
I love it. Me too. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on The Little Things. I hope today's conversation inspires you to notice your little things. Life is full of them, and sometimes they're the ones that make the biggest difference.